This is episode number 11 of Hitting Hard. I am your host, Christian. I did not put out a little teaser tweet that I would be doing a live show today, but doing one anyway. Figured, hey, let's try something different. Let's just jump into it, surprise everybody instead of putting it out there that we're doing a show. Let's see what's going on here. Episode 11 of Hitting Hard is presented to you by baseballism.com. Check them out. Use the code NYYST for 15% off your order. So shout out to the sponsors. So what's going on in the Yankee universe this past week? Not too much. Just chugging along over here until we are now sitting 14 days away from the open of the baseball season. The long winter is finally over. Not finally, but we're getting there. 2 weeks. It was almost 60 degrees outside in Jersey today. So, you can start tasting it. The snow's melting. You can take the dog for a walk. It's sun for most of the day now. We're getting there. We are getting there. 14 days away from opening day. I can taste it. I'm ready for baseball. We will get into a little bit of football at the end of the show. I can't do this podcast without getting into whatever the hell it is that the Giants are doing, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So what's really the big news in the Yankee universe right now? I mean, Guardy's hitting with a little bit of pop in his bat, trying to show people that maybe he's got something left, that he's not an old man. He's hitting a few dingers in spring training. So we'll start there. We'll talk about Brett Gardner and the fact that he is going to be the left fielder for the Yankees, especially to start the season. Now, you've heard me say it here. You heard me say it on the NYYST Sports Talk podcast. The Yankees really don't have an option to replace, well, I haven't said that, but, Brett Gardner is going to get a lot of playing time this year. And right now, it looks like they really don't have a true option to replace him. You want to give Stan some at-bats in left field? I guess you could do that, but I would prefer to have a really good outfield defense, considering that we might not have a really good infield defense. So I would like to leave Stan at DH as much as possible. I'm not saying he's a butcher out there, but Brett Gardner is a superior defensive player. And then, what about Clint Frazier? Clint Frazier is not hitting well in spring training. I think the last I saw, he's hitting around the buck. I mean, you're not going to make a team by doing that after you missed last season with injury. So, I'm a big Red Thunder fan. I know he doesn't want to be called that anymore, but it's not really his decision. It's my decision. So, Clint, you are going to be referred to as Red Thunder when I am speaking about you. So, you're just going to have to deal with that. Aaron Boone said a few weeks ago that, Clint Frazier should not worry about making or earning a roster spot. Just worry himself about playing baseball. And, that's the approach the Yankees should take with him. And it's just a little unfortunate that he's not hitting better to maybe, put the Yankees in a much tougher position where they're like, maybe we should take this kid north. Clint Frazier's, he's going to go north. He's going to go north to Scranton, but he's not going to go north to the Bronx. Clint Frazier needs to play some baseball. That's what he needs to do. And if spring training he's knocking all that rust out that he didn't play most of last year, then so be it. Let him knock off that rust. Let him go down to Scranton. Let him play a few months. Let him go down there and work and get in, baseball shape. I'm not saying he's not in shape, but you got to get in baseball shape. You got to get used to playing every day again, especially, the way he missed time, the concussions. So he needs that. That's what Clint Frazier needs right now. And then we can revisit this at the end of May into June. So we'll see there. And so we'll see. That's what's going on there with left field and what's going on in the rotation. I guess that's the other thing that we can talk about real quick here is we know the Yankees are going to have to fill two rotation spots. CeCe's going to start the the season on the injured list. We should try to use the proper vernacular, the injured list. And we know Sevy's going to start there as well. So the Yankees kind of have to fill two rotation spots. It looks like Luis, as much, if you just ate, just, breathe in deep. Okay, don't get your stomach agitated, but it does look like Luis Cessa is taking one of those rotation spots. He pitched 4 scoreless innings today. I don't have his full numbers in front of me, but he's been pitching really well in spring training. Yes, I know spring training, but if you're judging Herman, Loizica, and Cessa to take those spots, what are you going to go off of? You're going to go off of what these guys are doing in spring training. And Luis Cessa, as much as a lot of us don't want him to be a starting pitcher for the Yankees in 2019, he's killing it right now. So, it looks like he's going to get himself a few turns to the rotation. So, and you know what? If he pitches well in spring training and he gives the Yankees 2 or 3 good starts in April, or not even good, just decent starts, you live with it. And you say, hey, speaking of, I always do this. I need to take more time in between doing this and when I eat. Sorry. I know nobody cares, but anyway. Like we said, even without Sevy, the Yankees should be able to outscore most of their opponents that they're playing in the beginning of the season. So if Cessa is going to take the ball 2 or 3 times till Sevy comes back or till CC comes back, the Yankees should be able to still win those games. If Cessa is going to go out there and give you 3 over 5, 4 over 5, they should still be able to win those games. You tell me that you spot a team 3 or 4 runs. The Yankees are going to have this incredible bullpen. Jesus, last year we had A.J. Cole coming into games. You're going to have guys like Jonathan Holder being your mop-up guys. And think about how really good he was last year. So, think about it. So, you mean to tell me against the Baltimore Orioles, even if Cessa gives up 4 runs over 5 innings, the Yankees can't score 5 or 6 themselves? Legitimately, they should be okay. You just hope that this Sevy thing doesn't linger into mid-May, blah, blah, blah. You just knock it out in a couple weeks, and then it'll be back. It sucks. It does suck that you're losing your ace for any amount of time in the season that you want to win the World Series. But, hey, it could be worse. If it's just a couple weeks, it could always be worse. Somebody popped up, asked, do I think the Yankees sneak a deal for Keuchel? I don't, because if I thought, in my mind, let me get the words out here correctly. In my mind, if I thought they wanted him, they would have signed him already. He's sitting there. What is he doing? We're 2 weeks from opening day. Dallas Keuchel doesn't have a team yet. How much lower is his value going to go? Or how much? Seriously, you got to think about it like that. If you got to offer this guy something. Somebody's going to offer this guy something. He's going to take it. He's not going to sit out. He's not going to not play this year. So I think if the Yankees really thought, and I've said this plenty of times, if the Yankees really thought Sevy or CC was going to be a long-term thing, something that they would have to worry about past April, Dallas Keuchel would be here. It wouldn't be playing games at that point. So I think that we really shouldn't worry too much about that. And hey, maybe Cashman strikes maybe in another week he gets word that he can get Keuchel for 1 year, $10 million. And he might strike. Hey, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It would just suck that you'd have to make a decision that somebody's got to go into the bullpen. And, I guess CC would be the odd man out. And you really don't want to see that happen to the big guy in his final season. You'd at least want to give him a couple of months to pitch. And then if he stinks, then he goes in the bullpen. Or he just retires early. But, hey, right now I don't see it happening. I wouldn't completely rule it out. I give it like an 8% chance. 8. Well, I've always said this, that the Yankees are just trying to get through the first half of the season, first 3 months, with CC Sabathia, and then they go out and make a trade. What they can't do is try to get through July with CC Sabathia and go make a trade, because the rules in Major League Baseball have now changed. There is no more waiver trade deadline. July 31st is the only trading deadline, and that's it. I don't really mind that too much. July 31st, it's going to be very interesting, because a lot of times I think teams try to hold on a little bit longer. So now you got to either pull the cord or go for it like a month earlier. It's not terribly hard to still make trades with the waiver deadline. It's a little bit more complicated, but without it, now you see, you're going to see teams really trying to pull the cord or go for it. They're not going to be trying to do this limbo dance in August anymore. They're going to have to make a decision a little bit earlier. I don't mind it. I'm glad they didn't touch the actual trade deadline. It still says easy for me to say, July 31st, and it should stay July 31st. We don't need it any earlier. You got rid of the waiver deadline. Okay. The other rule, I believe this is for 2020. Rosters will go up to 26 players, which is pretty cool. I think that's good. September call-ups will now be limited to 28 players, which is actually the smart thing to do. If you're going to expand rosters to 40, you should expand rosters to 40 in April, when the pitchers don't have their stamina up, and you would need to make more pitching changes. And that would make more sense to me than doing it in September, in the most important games of the year, and now you got a guy with a 94-man bullpen, and games take 95 hours. Oh, wait a second now. Also in 2020, the 3-man minimum. A pitcher comes in, he must pitch to 3 batters unless the end of the inning happens or he's hurt. Why? Now, I know I'm not going to scream and yell about it because it's still a year away. What I am going to say is I will be willing to see how this works, what the actual effect of it is on the game. What I don't like about it is the idea behind doing it. The idea behind doing it is it's going to speed up the game, which it's really not going to do. I mean, how many pitching changes are you really going to eliminate? 2, maybe 3 in a game? Dude, seriously. Rob Manfred, I know that you have no idea who I am, but you should, okay? I know that you will never listen to this podcast, but you should. Stop ruining baseball, okay? What you are doing is trying to cater the game to people that don't like baseball. We love baseball. We don't want you to touch baseball. There's nothing wrong with baseball, okay? I know you want games to be 2.5 hours. I don't care if a game runs 9 friggin' hours if it's played the way that baseball is meant to be played, okay? Now, here's what the interesting thing is about the 3-batter minimum. Now, let's say, next year, not that Zach Britton can't get righties out, but let's say next year a tough lefty's coming up, 2 outs in the inning, and Boone wants to get the lefty, wants to go lefty-lefty. 2 tough righties are coming up after him. Do you actually take the risk of sending your lefty out there? Just take Zach Britton, for example, just because he's the first lefty that came in my mind. So do you send Britton out there hoping that he gets the job done, because you can't take him out again now? You cannot take him out. And then 2 righties are coming up to absolutely murder him? It's going to be interesting. There's an added. What I do like about it is there's a little bit of added strategy that will be put into the game now. Do you do that? Do you do that now? It's interesting. That's why I'm not going to get so crazy over it, because I do want to see how it plays out. But I don't like the reason behind it. Again, I don't like it. It's being done to speed up the game. We're going to intentionally walk somebody. This does nothing but tell me that you watched wrestling in the 80s, okay? This is all these 4 fingers mean. That you know who Ric Flair and Arn Anderson and the 94 other people that cycled in and out of the 4 Horsemen are, okay? That's all this means. this doesn't mean go take your base. This does not sped up games. I think I saw something earlier. I can't confirm it. I'll have to look. That they're also cutting mound visits from 6 to 5. I don't know when that's going to be. Gary Sanchez had a mild heart attack when he read that. Gary Sanchez was the king of mound visits. He would take 93 in one inning. And now, he did pretty good last year in the limited time that he played, being limited to 6. Now, 5. If I would do it, I would give each team 1 mound visit per inning. That's what I would do. 1 mound visit per inning. If you don't use it, you lose it. It doesn't get to carry over, okay? And so that's what it is. I would put in a situation where you can carry 1 mound visit over to the 9th inning, because I think in a crucial game, in a 9th inning tie, close game, you might need an extra mound visit. You shouldn't be playing around in the 9th inning. I don't want the severity, the importance downplayed because now you have these dumb rules. Let the pitcher and catcher get on the same page in the 9th inning. So you give them 1 per inning, and then if you don't use all of them, you can carry 1 over to the 9th. That's how I would do it. And you would see most of the time they wouldn't even use it in a 1 mound visit per inning. Who cares? You're just doing things to do things. You think that somebody out there that doesn't like baseball, some hipster jackass, would be like, they don't have mound visits, so now I'm going to watch baseball with my infinity scarf and my brown shoes and whatever hipsters wear. I don't know. I'm not one. You can obviously tell by looking at me that I don't really subscribe to being a hipster. But hey, if that's who you are, that's cool. I don't judge. I'm just saying, stop doing things for these people because they don't like baseball to begin with, okay? It boggles my mind. Like, they're not doing this to benefit us. They're not doing this to benefit people that are going to go to the games and watch the games anyway. They're doing it to attract a new crowd of people. You attract a new crowd of people, you market your stars, okay? You market your stars. You give them a reason to watch the game. Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge, Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado, Chris Bryant, Mookie Betts, Mike Trout. Go down the list. Those are the guys that are going to bring in new viewers. Market them. That's how you will bring in a new client base, new customers, not cutting down the time of games. If you give them something compelling to watch, they will watch it, okay? Think about it like this. Is the NBA trying to shorten games? Okay? This is why I don't watch basketball, okay? And I don't want the NBA or college basketball to do anything differently to try to get me to watch it, because I don't want to watch it. I don't care what you do. I'm going to be a casual viewer at best, okay? In the NBA, the last 5 minutes of a game take 2.5 hours. The rest of the game takes 90 minutes. The last 5 minutes of the game take 2.5 hours. Foul, free throw, foul, free throw, foul, free throw. I don't want to watch that. That might be entertaining to people that really love basketball. There's a strategy involved, whatever. I don't care. I'm not a basketball person, so I don't care. It's boring to me. It takes too long to get to the end result. But I don't want the NBA to do anything to change. That's how they run their game. That's how their fans like it, okay? That's the same approach I want baseball to take. That's the same approach I want baseball to take. Stop doing things for people that don't care. You want to make the game better, market your stars, okay? That's what you do. You want to bring in new viewers, market your stars. Put Aaron Judge on a fucking billboard. Put Mike Trout on a billboard. Get a commercial for Bryce Harper. Get a commercial for Mookie Betts. That's how you make these guys likable. Make them the reason why people will want to watch games. And they won't care that there's 2 pitching changes in an inning, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's far less aggravating having a pitcher change twice in an inning than see 19 fouls in 38 seconds, okay? The NBA doesn't care. Major League Baseball shouldn't care either, okay? That's all I'm saying. You have your fan base. Yankee Stadium is going to be filled all season long, okay? You think Cincinnati's going to draw more than 9,000 people a game now? No, it's not going to happen. This is not going to change anything. You're just pissing people off that put their hard-earned money into your product. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. So, now, the elephant in the room, Dave Gettleman. No holds barred. This is what happens when you put a guy from Boston in charge of a New York sports franchise. He screws it up. Okay? That's what happens. Dave Gettleman is from Boston. Okay? And you let him run the New York Football Giants. And for the first time in my life, and like I said, I'm not an NBA guy. I'm a casual viewer at best. If the Nets are going to be in the playoffs, I'll watch the Nets. If the Knicks are going to be in the playoffs, I'll watch the Knicks. Hockey, I really don't care about. But if the Rangers are going to be in the playoffs, I'll keep an eye on it. If the Devils are going to be in the playoffs, I won't keep an eye on it. Even though I'm from New Jersey, the Devils always bored me for some reason, and I can never get into their games. But only baseball and football. Giants, Yankees, boom. That's it, right? For the first time in my entire life as a fan, and I'm 35 years old, and maybe there were other times, but I just don't remember or whatever. It's the first time that I can honestly say I feel real despair as a fan that one of my teams has no idea what the hell that they are doing. That's how I feel right now. After Odell Beckham Jr. got traded, that's exactly how I felt. That for the first time in 35 years as being a fan, one of these teams has no idea what they're doing. And I'm not saying you can't rebuild. You can absolutely rebuild. Rebuilding is good sometimes. Look at the Yankees. 2016, they said, screw this, let's rebuild. Now, you're not going to have the same success the Yankees had and be in the ALCS next year and then win 100 games the following year. But, hey, rebuilding is good sometimes, right? So I have no problem if the Giants want to go on a rebuilding route. But, dude, you can't sign Odell Beckham to this massive record-breaking contract and then a year later be like, we're done. I'm done with him. You can't do that. Why? What was the point? I have no problem if they wanted to trade Odell Beckham Jr. Honestly, I don't. I'm a fan of the guy. He's a great talent. He's a pain in the ass. True, there's always something with him that you're like, oh Jesus, Odell, why? He doesn't do bad things. He's just always stupid shit. So it's just like whatever. You're just like, why can't you just shut up and play football? Like, it's not, it's just like, dude, just the friggin' boat trip, the ESPN interview, the kicking net. It's always something. It's always just dumb stuff, but it's always just something with him. So, you know what? If the Giants wanted to trade him last season, there's no issue with that. But you give this guy this contract, and then you're all like, oh, well, now we're going to trade him. Why? You should have never signed him in the first place. You mean to tell me that somebody offered you even a third-round pick for Landon Collins during the trading deadline last year, and you didn't trade him, and you let him go for nothing, and now what? Now, here, today, oh my God, like what the hell? We're going to sign Golden Tate, 31-year-old Golden Tate, to a 4-year deal? I like Golden Tate. I've always been a fan of his. I've been following his career mostly since Notre Dame, so I'm cool with him, but you're going to bring him in to essentially replace Odell Beckham? Like, what are you thinking? Jesus. And you guys that follow me know I had no issue with bringing Eli back last year and drafting Saquon. I was cool with that. But geez, like, what is the point now? You traded everybody off your defense that had any talent or let them go. And for what? I don't get it. Like, Jabril Peppers should be decent. They signed some pass rusher today to a 1-year deal. I mean, they're probably going to use their picks on defense, but for what? What are you doing? Excuse me. And I love Eli. I love him to death. He's my favorite Giant of all time. He's one of my top 3 or 4 favorite athletes of all time. But, what's the point? You're getting rid of Odell. For what? For what? You're going to rebuild with an old man at quarterback? Are you going to draft a quarterback? You're going to Drew Rosen, what are you doing? Or Josh Rosen, I don't even know what the hell his kid's name is. But what are you doing? I just want to know. Are you rebuilding? Are you going for it? Do you trade Odell because you don't friggin' like him? What is going on? That's all I want to know is what is going on, and I have no idea. At least in 2016, when the Yankees did it, you knew exactly what they were doing. They traded older guys. They got younger. They went with a youth movement. Boom! You knew that they were building something towards the future. You have no idea what the New York Giants do, and you can't sit there and honestly tell me you have any friggin' idea what they're doing, because I'm telling you, Dave Gettleman is literally picking papers out of a hat, and that's exactly what he was doing that day. Here's today. We're going to rebuild today. Wait, hold up. Nope. Today we're going to go for it. That's exactly what Dave Gettleman is doing. Because one day you trade Odell Beckham Jr., that says you're rebuilding. Next day, you sign Golden Tate. That says you're going for it. You can't, Jesus. And here's the dumbest thing of all. You trade Odell. You got $16 million of dead cap space you can't do anything with to get better. It was so stupid. Oh, my God. And what are we doing? I just want to know what we're doing, Dave. Can you please just tell me what we're doing? That's it. That's all I want to know. What are we doing? Are we going to be 4-12 this year? 3-13? Jeez, I'll tell you. You want to know exactly what the Giants are going to do? They're going to win 6 or 7 games this year. Are they good enough to win 6 or 7 games? I have no idea. They won 5 last year. They should have won more. The defense was utterly atrocious. They blew a lot of leads late, so they could have won more last year. And they had leads in games they didn't even have Odell in. So, I'm just saying. You know why they're going to win 6 or 7 games this year? Because it's going to royally screw them. They're going to be in the middle of the pack and pick in the middle of the draft instead of being so bad that they guarantee themselves a top 2 pick. That's what's going to happen. And that's what happens when you play these games that Dave Gettleman is playing. Either tank it up or friggin' go for it. There can't be no middle ground, because this is what happens. You can't build your team in the NFL if you're in the middle. You're just not going to get your hands on a quarterback. And I love Eli to death, and I say this with the utmost respect to him. This has got to be it for him. This has to be it for him. You can't play with Eli Manning in 2020. I love the guy to death. You can't play with him in 2020. You maybe shouldn't even be playing with him in 2019, but apparently that's what we're going with. And that's fine with me. If this is what we're doing, no, I don't want to bet. Because, honestly, I'll tell you what, I have no idea what the Giants are doing. So, they could realistically, in my mind, with the way they're running shit, still bring Eli back next year. But they should not do it. 2020 should see somebody else behind center. You know what, King Walla? They might give Eli a 5-year contract. That's how dumb they are right now. And I keep saying it. I love the guy to death. But you know what? Let him go ride off on his blue horse. Big Blue. Let him go ride off on his blue horse. Have his farewell tour if that's what you're really inclined to do. But please get me a quarterback in here in 2020. You have to do it. You have to do it. I was okay with drafting Saquon, giving Eli 1 more year. But you know what? This team is an utter mess right now. It's an utter mess. I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it. And to everybody out there is like, oh, they traded Odell. I'm done being a fan. Fuck you, okay? That's what I have to say to you. Because you know what? You're either a fan of a team or you're not a fan of a team. If you're not a fan of a team anymore because they traded Odell Beckham Jr., then you're an Odell Beckham Jr. fan. Okay, I'm a Giants fan, and I will ride this shit out with them, even if it takes 30 friggin' years for them to be, what's up, Yankees Cave? Even if it takes 30 years for them to get to the top again. You want to know why? Because they gave me 2 of the greatest highlights in my sports fandom, and you want to know why? It's in my blood to be a Giants fan, just like it's in my blood to be a Yankees fan. I could never turn my back on either one of my teams. I don't care. The Yankees could trade Aaron Judge to, what was that? Major League 2, when they traded Jack Parkman for the Japanese player. The Yankees could do that. They could trade Aaron Judge for, Ichiro Light. I guess that's what Tanaka was, right? Not our Tanaka. That was his name, Tanaka. Ichiro Light, we'll call him, Tanaka from Major League 2. They could do that. And guess what? I will still be rocking my pinstripes every damn day of my life except for Sundays between September and December. Because right now, the way the Giants are playing, there will be no Sundays for us in January. But, hey, you know what? I'm a fan. You can be upset, you can bitch, complain, do whatever you want. I know I fight people on Twitter that are outrageously over the top, but that's you, that's what you want to do. At the end of the day, if you're rooting for your club, you're rooting for your club. What I don't want to see is be like, oh, I'm done now. You know what? They made a mistake. They put this guy in charge. Hey, you know what? Maybe he's the mad scientist. Maybe what he's doing will work, and then in 3 or 4 years, we're back in the Super Bowl. You never know. I would not bet my house on it, but you never know, and that's what I'm going to say. Hey, let's wrap this up here. Thank you for watching episode 11 of Hitting Hard, again, presented to you by Baseballism.com. Hey, you know what? You're right, King Wild. Root for the laundry, bro. That's what it is. The names and numbers always change in the back, but they never change on the front. And at the end of the day, that's what you're rooting for, right? You're rooting for the name on the front of your jersey. Anyway, baseball, did some football talk, but this podcast is presented to you by Baseballism.com. Please check them out. Again, NYYST will save you 15% on your total order. I saw some really cool things on there. The Babe Ruth Respect the Game shirt. We'll definitely be picking up one of those using my own promo code. Yes, sir. And follow me on Twitter at Christian_NYYST. And as I always say, one of these days I will come up with a good signature goodbye to this show. Today is not that day. We'll see you in the next episode.